Number one, that I want to recommend that speech is a kind of method by which students prefer to write in this way. It is one of the most ultra-modern method, and right now that the most finest ingredient of this method, that writing the concept of speech, you are trying to be lively, you're trying to be more interactive in your composition. For example, the question has been given it to you that importance of reading books, and you're writing that one of my friend has suggested me that I should consult a best library in my town in order to read some kind of good books. Obviously, this is a good idea. The reading books, in fact, that contributing a lot in our lives, and obviously it can help us in order to understand things by reading, understanding. So look at the structure of the sentence. The student is trying to write in a dialogue situations. My friend suggested me, or my father asked me, one of my close friend told me to discuss this thing. I can give you another example that students, the government should have to spend more money on space explorations, or they have to spend more money on eliminating poverty. So students are writing that one of my closest friends recommended me that poverty actually is drastically increasing in our society, and obviously it is one of the most reckless cause of proliferating different kind of evils in society. So look at the structure of the sentence. Student is trying to write by introducing a dialogue situations. So this is the most significant characteristics of the method of speech. The students trying to introduce their point of view, that by introducing a dialogue and a trialogue in their compositions to make it more interactive, more lively here. The second method, which is highly recommended for students, and if you're feeling that you are not really great in understanding the first paragraph, so how to start the first paragraph? So I can give them very simple solutions. Highlight the most important words in your questions, and then you can construct a one grammatically right sentence which can depict the thoughts of the whole paragraph, and it can covers the whole highlighted words of the compositions. This is the way that you can actually start your compositions by following this kind of methodology. It actually has a lot of continuous benefits. It can actually give you a simplest way of starting your compositions with the help of your theme. Obviously, theme, I've already told you that express your theme as soon as possible without any delay. You must need to tell your spectators or your audience or your readers what is the most eminent reason of writing your compositions. What would you like to take a stance, and in fact that which thing you don't like to take a stance in the composition. So everything should be very much categorical, very much explicit to your spectators. The third method, which is highly recommended for particularly IELTS and TOEFL students, sometime that PT examinations can also follow, the question like opinionated. So opinion is in fact one of the most wisest signs of starting your first paragraph with the help of certain sentences. For example, in my point of view, the people must have to spend more money on eliminating poverty rather than to spend more money on looking at space explorations. So look at the structure of this sentence. I'm trying to make an overemphasis on the word in my point of view. So there are a lot of other sentences which can reflect your opinion. For example, people may disagree with me, but I believe that government actually has the prime responsibility to remove poverty in the society. And it's a kind of perplexing statement, but it is my personal opinion to declare this particular situation. So look at all these three sentences structures. In fact, that the writer is trying to imply and propose his point of view, his point of argument, his sense of agreement or disagreement by using the statement like I, me, my, mine. And so all the sentences which reflect the only one thing is opinion. It's highly recommended, and I believe that you can be able to get a good score if your first paragraph or even your rest of the paragraphs are highly opinionated in the compositions. The fourth method, which I would like to share with all of you, is called an action. Before explaining the phenomenon of actions and the strategy and the characteristics of action strategy, I want to share with you the example, the virtual example. You might have actually that reading a lot of tape scripts or writing text. So anything which can provide you a sense of imagination, so we can call them action strategy. So action strategy is something the students would like to prefer to write to express their opinion. They want to create an environment where the opinion and theme is practically compatible. For example, I'll just give you a hint of a question. The government should have to spend more money on space explorations, or they have to spend more money of eliminating poverty. For example, that's how I can start my first paragraph on this topic. I was sitting in my office and someone has knocked at my door and he was asking about some kind of charity for this one. I was really amazed and quite perplexed that this is not my responsibility, and obviously it's the responsibility of the government to provide charitable exercises and to eliminate the poverty here. So if you look at the structure of the sentences, so the student is trying to create an environment where the elimination of poverty can be practically compatible with the topic. So this is called action strategy. It's one of the most important characteristics. You need a wide range of vocabulary, and obviously you have to introduce a lot of adjectives and repeatedly a lot of adverbs in order to express your theme. So the most vivid thing, this is a very crucial and difficult strategy, but it needs some kind of consistent and a long practice which can make you perfect in order to make a action strategy of starting your first paragraph. The last but not the least, I would like to recommend the fifth method is called a verb. You might have seen a lot of intellectuals, intelligent people that they prefer to start their compositions by employing different quotations, slogans, wise sayings, and the prominent sentences of the prolific and popular writers. For example, that the question was about the importance of reading a book, and you are quoting that the Sir Francis Bacon explains that some books ought to be chewed, some books ought to be digested, and some books ought to be swallowed. So this is a kind of quotations which can actually the part of a relationship with your theme. So you have to be very much cautious and in order to select any particular proverb. If your proverb is not related with the theme, so your impressions can be changed into a depressions. So these are the few things which you can be able to practice in order to write your first paragraph. Thank you very much indeed.